right, people, it's a Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage.
We back.
Yeah, it's June, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go on vacation. Well, guess what? For those road trips, whatever you want to do, and you just have it's so boring. I'm just driving. Get on the road and turn on the Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage, because we're bringing you some exclusive interviews all summer long.
It's interviews, it's entertainment.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all you can ask for on a drive.
We have an interview with a Liberty legend who we also have some breaking news to share.
Big news. Big news.
We're saying Darius McGee is signing to. You got to hang on to hear that
Good
breaking
catching
news.
up with Darius.
So great
Such
catching
a
up.
good guy.
We'll get to that conversation in just a moment. But we got some newly appointed All-Americans on the mountain at Liberty Track and Field, headed out with 6 athletes to nationals in Eugene, Oregon.
Track down.
Track down?
Track down, USA.
Track down.
Yeah, track
I was
down.
like, who are we tracking down?
No,
I thought we were going on a mission.
Track down. Yeah.
Tracktown USA, yeah. So Paola Bueno finished 11th in the women's hammer. We got Katie Irvine. Hey, I'm a freshman, but I can do some big time things. 10th in pole vault.
That's outstanding. Freshman. 14, over 14 feet. You guys don't know how incredible that is. I mean, I've got pole vault back history, not myself, but my daughter. So that is legit.
What is Gracie's?
Well, I mean, in high school, she was like, I can't remember, 13.4, something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, do you start clearing 14 feet? Like, well, you're 10th in the nation.
Right.
I mean, that's all-American
status.
What?
Speaking of pole vault history, I just want to know who's like, you know what we should do? We should get this really long pole
I don't know where
and
this is
run
going.
as fast as we can and put it into this little pit and fly over another bar.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Whose idea was that?
Crazy talk.
I don't know.
I'm good on that.
Yeah.
I thought you were getting ready to say that that the 3 of us were gonna have a contest, like with one of those bamboo poles.
Joe, listen.
And like you got to jump over the river.
Yeah.
Right. You know.
That does look
you ever
fun.
seen those?
And
then they crawl up and then they go over the next. That's
fun.
what I thought you were going with. I was like,
I would try that.
Why don't we try that?
Would you try that?
I would try that.
I think I would try that. If you could fall in water.
Listen, but while we're talking track, before you to the others, it was brought up to me today.
Yeah.
Someone reminded me, whatever happened with Joe running the mile?
Oh, here we go again.
And so it has now been well over a calendar year.
You do.
Joe
I don't know if
said
it's the dark shirt.
I'm slimming down.
Run the mile.
I am.
There was a time that he was going to run the mile.
Things got away from me for a bit.
It's the holidays.
Winter time, we all pack on a little extra.
Now I'm
hibernation mode.
I got dialed in.
Yeah.
I got dialed in.
You're dialed in. But now, one of the people that you're going to mention, Callie Doan, may have a little bit more free time.
Oh, yeah, Callie's supposed to train me. Let's just go ahead and blame that.
Callie has not answered my text since she came on the show.
No, she won't answer your text.
Oh, you know that Snoop Dogg song?
Yeah. Maybe
now
stop. She can train you, or at least be a part of watching you.
Yes, I mean, I could use a little help. Remember when I said to her, I said, well, I'm going to start running stadium steps.
Yes.
Right? She looked at me and said, that's going to do nothing.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
She could not have run any faster out of the studio following her time with us.
Never again will she be a part of Flame Central Podcast.
Matt,
poor Callie.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Why don't you train me, buddy? You'll train me.
Okay.
You're an inspirational guy.
Like I used to do the whole ride the bike thing, and you're in like the gray sweatsuit.
Yes.
And you just run it through the streets.
No, I want a real shiny one.
Through the
so
streets
you lose
of
weight.
Like in Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Yeah. I was thinking more Rocky, and all the kids start following you as you like run up the steps there in like downtown.
No,
or
DeMoss.
DeMoss.
Let's go
works.
DeMoss.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh my. Okay, so let's get back on track. I'm not sure if Callie Doan has ever run a race where she hasn't beat her own program record, but she finished her career with a program record in the steeplechase, 9:49.54 for 10th place. And you know what's so crazy about those races? You have to run them twice. So it's a 3K steeple. You're jumping over those horse hurdles. Horse hurdles. It's Monday, people. So you have to run that, and then like a day or two later, you're running it again. That's a 3K. That's not easy. Anyway, John Hicks finished 18th place, and then Ben Sugar.
Javelin.
21st place in the javelin. He also won the NCAA Elite 90 Award for men's outdoor track and field. Perfect 4.0 GPA in sports management.
I mean, that's pretty solid.
You want to hear a great comeback story?
Yeah.
I know this is totally sidetracked, but it's an unbelievable.
Hold on, we're all like shocked.
And I wish I could remember the kid's name right now.
Oh gosh, it's getting better.
Stop it. This is unbelievable.
The band is back together, people.
It's driving me nuts. I can't remember his name. It might hit me while I'm telling the story.
Okay.
When Gracie went to Georgia, right? Gracie went to Georgia. They had a sprinter.
About a spit take.
Stop. This is a good.
Oh my God, best story ever.
This is a great
Can't remember
story.
his name.
Yeah.
No idea what sport he played.
No, it's track and field. It's track and
All
field.
right, track and
So
field.
Gracie goes to Georgia her freshman year. And I think it happened just the year before she got there.
Okay.
This dude who was a sprinter, I'm going to remember his name at some point. He was a sprinter, and he was warming up.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about the javelin. He was warming up, and the javelin was in the ground. And he backpedaled, and it went right in through his back.
No.
Yeah, it went right there. And he was stuck laying there with the javelin stuck in him.
Through him?
Through him. Like it went into his lung. It went up into his lung. Yeah, and so anyways,
that's like Sparta.
It was unbelievable. So they had to they don't know what to do, but you have to leave it in, right? So they called the ambulance. They came and they had to cut the javelin off, transport him with the javelin still stuck in him, get him to the hospital. The kid, the kid ends up coming back, and he's on their national championship 4x4 team or whatever it was.
Yeah,
University of Georgia sprinter impaled by javelin.
Yes, that's
at
the
a
first
practice.
video.
Yeah, what's the name? I can't believe I can't remember this kid's name. I talked to him all the time when we were down there. Great.
Oh my God.
I was asking about
that is awful.
Elijah Godwin.
Elijah Godwin. That's
backed into the javelin.
Yes.
Here's the photo. I can't show this on the Flame Center podcast.
No.
Oh,
Let me see the photo.
My gosh.
Let me see it. I don't even know if I've seen it. Let me see
Now
it.
everyone's.
That'll leave a mark.
This makes for really good TV for those of you watching. Trust us,
You
it's
guys-
pretty
You
wild.
guys can Google that on
Elijah
yourself.
Godwin, yeah.
Oh,
But anyways, the kid came
my
back.
Lord.
He thought, is he going to live? Blah, blah. He comes back, and he was like, I think top 3 in the country in the 400, and was on the national championship team. Unbelievable. Elijah Godwin.
You know what? That story started a little shaky. It got pretty
delivered.
Good.
All my stories deliver.
Yeah, you give it
You know
enough
what?
time.
You just let me. I know what I'm doing.
Give the man time.
No, I know what I'm doing. You're always just so suspect of me. And then I always
should know
close
at
it.
this-
Yeah.
I close it well.
You land the plane.
Stop it.
He's a closer. Well, another big-time closer for Liberty was Darius McGee, and here's our conversation.
Look at that.
with
Good
him.
job, Emily.
You may know him as a Liberty legend. Now he is a mad ant. Darius McGee is in the house. D. McGee, what's going on?
Good to see you guys again.
Yeah, it's really great to see you. Can't wait to catch up and see how your season has been going was going at the Indian Mad Ants. What was like the biggest maybe surprise playing in the G League level?
I would say
Or
like the
adjustment,
biggest.
maybe.
That's a 2-part question. I'll hit you with the surprise. I think just you watch college basketball for so many years, and there's a lot of great players that you may forget about just because you don't see their face like on screen so much. So to like get the scouting report and see familiar faces and like, oh wow, that's such and such that played at this university back 6-7 years ago. Like, so that was the super dope part about it. Just meeting new people, seeing familiar faces, and building relationships. The biggest adjustment would just be it's a higher level of basketball, so there's always going to be an adjustment. No different from high school to college. Like, it's going to take you time to grow, figure out where you can and cannot do things on the floor. So,
yeah, talk about that. Like, as the season progresses, what changes for you as you kind of learn and adjust to it in terms of your game? Like, are there things that you felt like I grew a lot in this area as the season progressed?
As the season progressed, I definitely was able to watch more. Like, it's crazy. I didn't know what kind of situation as far as personalities or the guys coming from Liberty. Like, you just want to hope you fall into a situation that's similar as far as the aura of the team and the camaraderie. And my veterans kind of put their arms around me, and it was a super cool step for me to go into a situation like that. So I learned a lot from them, especially Elfrid playing point guard. A lot of people don't realize I played point guard 1 year out of 5 at Liberty. I was mostly the 2. So just getting used to playing the point again and learning how to run an offense and just being confident with the ball back in my hands.
Hey, Darius, when you look back at your career at Liberty and now that you are where you are, what do you take from Liberty that you now under Coach McGhee and all that he taught you as a player and as a young man, now that you're carrying that over into the professional level? What sticks out to you from what you really learned from Coach McGhee and his staff at Liberty?
I would say, like, don't take anything for granted. Like, be grateful for the opportunity. Be obedient, like, just in the little things, whether it be like a breathing cool down after a workout, like literally being obedient and taking those 3 minutes and really locking in and focus on breathing. Don't let your mind wander in different things, or play around and maybe breathe for a minute, and then the rest of it is complete just doing anything else. So being obedient, working really hard, like, don't forsake being in the gym. Like, you got there for working hard. Like, don't take your foot off the gas, and just being the best person possible, especially off the court. Like, the more you can become a better person, it'll help you in basketball. I've always believed that. I've always tried to hang my hat on that. Like, if you can be good off the floor, you can be an even better basketball player.
Well, Darius, something you don't see every day is a graphic of Caitlin Clark, Steph Curry, and Darius McGee, which we saw last season when Caitlin Clark beat the three-point record. First question, because I know you like these two-part questions. Have you had some time with Caitlin? Have you met her yet?
She's in your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
I haven't. Like, they're in season, so they're in and out. I haven't had a chance to actually meet her yet, but I've met, like, because obviously everybody in Indiana right now is from Iowa and knows Caitlin some way, somehow. So I had a chance to bump into, like, a couple of her relatives, her high school coach. So it's actually great to see just the buzz right now, because when they have games, like, walking around Gamebridge, like, the streets are filled. So it's super dope to see.
Yeah, I do feel like maybe like an out of the office Flame Central story could be like a 3-point contest between. We'll come on up to Indiana.
Right.
I don't know her people, but maybe we can make
I'm
it
not
happen.
sure who would be the tougher get right now, Darius or Caitlin. I'm not sure who's more difficult to lock in.
Definitely Caitlin.
Yeah,
for sure.
What's been your favorite city that you've traveled to playing in the G League?
I would have to say Toronto.
Yeah.
Yes.
Toronto was we actually probably was there a couple extra days, so we got to see the city, walk around a little bit, and actually Jordan Bell will play with us the whole season. Like, it was kind of just in the G League, they say you want to play for better basketball opportunities, and he was afforded that. Like, he couldn't pass it up. So in Toronto, when we went, that was his last 2 games with us. So it was like a super special moment, just because you build so much chemistry and true relationships, and then, like, you kind of got to send your brother off, and we had a couple extra days to see the city of Toronto, so it was nice. Like, it was probably one of the most memorable moments of the G this year for me.
That's awesome.
Now, it used to be, G League, weren't the Mad Ants in, like, Fort Wayne or something like that, I think, before? I didn't realize they were in Indianapolis until you went there. What is that like, just in terms of the day-to-day? Are you having the same facilities or similar to what the Pacers are using? Like, how much better is it being in this situation you're in as opposed to maybe being in a smaller town somewhere else?
It's definitely like a special situation and an advantage, in my opinion, because we live right beside Gamebridge. So it's like a 40-second walk to practice. We do share the facility with the Pacers. We just obviously in there at different times. But, like, for the two-way players or assignees, like, especially easier for them, because, like, if you're playing for the Heat, they play in, I think, South Dakota.
Yeah.
Like, their G League team.
It is not hot there.
No.
So if you get sent down, like, if you're an assignee,
it really feels like you got sent down. You know what I mean?
They're flying from Miami to South Dakota.
Yeah.
So, like,
That's got to be a long flight.
Players, like, they wake up and go to sleep in the same place. They don't have to travel to games. Like, it's kind of routine for them. So it's definitely
awesome.
nice.
Where have you seen your game personally improve the most over this past season?
Definitely in the pick and roll. Like, it's different from college where I got hedged a lot of levels. So it's kind of like the first time in my life I was playing against drop coverages all the time. So different shots, different defensive rotations. There's just like as a guard, your options are different. So just getting comfortable playing against that coverage that I didn't face in college because teams didn't want me to shoot the ball and try to get the ball out of my hand.
So when you were at Liberty, I think it's fair to say, Darius, you had the greenest of green lights. Is that fair to say?
No.
You think? Like, how is that change going to this level where, like you said, you're surrounded by a lot of dudes that have been great players, and you're right there at the highest level you can be without being in the league. Like how does that change either your approach or the type of shots you take? Was there adjustment in terms of that?
Yeah, a little bit. Different style offenses for sure, like from Liberty and the NBA style we played this year in our sets. So it's different shots that's coming in the game. Like that's going to be your biggest adjustments, just finding within the offense, like, okay, most of my shots are going to come from here, probably going to get contested or guarded this type of way. So it was just more so that difference. You still got to be the confident player. Like all of us are there for a reason. Like we all have a skill set that somebody else doesn't possess. So that's our ticket in the door, and that's what's going to make us stay relevant. So you can't really dial that back per se. Obviously, you want to take smart shots and not hinder the offense, but you still got to be confident and be you.
So when you look around for some of the guys that were playing when you were here, you got Georgie's in Greece, Caleb Holmesley is Turkey, and then Scotty James. Scotty's like dropping 70 points a game in China, and now he's in Puerto Rico. How much do you keep an eye out on those guys and chat with them still?
For sure, definitely on like social media, and like most of us reach out, whether it be DMs, texts, or FaceTimes here and there. So we all keep an eye on one another. And for me, coming out, I just had questions like, how is this going to go? What do I need to look for as far as being a pro? Like just different little things that can just help the process. So Kyle Rowe's kind of in that role right now.
Yeah.
Like asking a lot of questions and just putting himself in a position to make his transition into his rookie year a lot smoother.
How much did you watch Liberty this past season? Were you tuning in quite a bit?
I was definitely tuning in quite a bit, calling the guys, sending text messages to some of the guys. So they were definitely, whenever I wasn't playing, actually, a lot of the times my games were on the same days as them, playing at the same time, or we flew a lot, traveling. So whenever I could, I would definitely tune in.
Listen, Darius, I just want to know, and I have no inside information here at all, but has anybody reached out to you about like maybe coming back this next year? Like when is number 2 going up in the rafters? Because that's got to happen here at some point. Has there been any discussion about like, hey, what's your schedule like? We got to make that happen.
I mean, I would be flattered if that happened for sure.
All right, well, we're starting the campaign right here. Yeah. We're starting it right now, Darius.
That's going to be my first question, my halftime question for Coach McKay.
Yes, that is solid. Get on him about it. I love it.
I don't know who would be making that phone call or decision, but I'll definitely have my antennas going crazy preparing for that situation to happen. So.
It's no one on this show, I can tell you that. None of us carry that kind of weight, so we're not making that call.
Y'all might drop the news to me, honestly.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll let you know.
We'll actually break the news on the Flames Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage. I think that'd be great. Well, whenever you come back, you got to let us know when you're coming back to Lynchburg. Team looks a lot different this year, so maybe you can get a couple practices in with them. I don't know if that's even allowed. But
hey, last thing for me, what does it look like for you now? Like I know you're kind of in between seasons here. Like for you, you're in Indianapolis? You're just hanging out there working out. Like what does this next year look like? When do you typically know like where you'll be playing? Like how does that all work?
So right now, like I'm literally just working out, preparing for next season. Guys really start getting closer to decision time around beginning of July, I feel like. So right now you're just weighing options, receiving all things, fielding all opportunities and offers. And like I said, just making sure you're putting yourself in the best situation in basketball and what makes the most sense. So right now we're just kind of in that in-between gray area, which especially the rookies, like people are going to want to know, they're going to have questions, they're going to be like, so what's next? And you're like, I know, but I don't know. Like, and just it's like a waiting game. So kind of back in that same thing.
Well, Darius, I just want to let you know that you are looking and acting as smooth as you ever have, and I didn't even think that was possible.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah. They did a thing on the Indiana Mad Ants, like one word for Darius McGee.
Yeah, you were a hit on their social media channels, by the way. Like they were always going to
everybody was saying 2-word answers. They're like sharpshooter, floor general.
Yeah.
I feel like it should have been the phrase because it is hard.
One word?
One word.
Yeah,
baller.
Smooth.
Legend.
Yeah.
Come on.
When I tell you, like, our team this season was just like a super incredible thing to be a part of. Like, I was for sure the little brother on the team. So we had an older G League team. So of course, like, everybody's constantly joking on me. Like, I didn't have any like rookie things to do, like, too much.
But, too much.
Too much.
One of the guys, like Steph Hicks, when they asked him, he just said short. And then, like, that was it.
Yeah. Sure.
Number one joke still always on me, like, every day in practice. Like, Darius, when you going to get a haircut? Like, they was on me about wearing the team issued shoes. Like, I had to just buy some new basketball shoes so they would stop making comments and jokes every day. So,
hey, I know you guys, a bunch of you guys used to have a fantasy football league. And I know you were involved in that, correct? Is that continuing? Like, even now, as you guys all continue to go other places, is that still continuing with you guys? What's the deal?
Blake Preston was in charge of it. And,
has he let it slide? Has he failed you as a commissioner?
He has let it slide for sure.
All right.
Like,
well, I'll get on Blake.
Yeah.
Probably because his teams never perform well. Like, it was easy when we were all in the same facility and could say something about it every day.
Right.
But I think this year he just kind of like gave up on it. So.
Oh my gosh. Well, Darius, so great catching up with you. Thanks for your time. Keep us in the loop. Whenever you find out, let us know. And
it's been fun watching you.
It has been.
Awesome.
So good to see you guys.
I have a confession to make. Here at the Flame Central podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage, we do tape things. Yeah. So sometimes we'll like tape the interview before, and we did that today with Darius.
Literally minutes before.
Literally minutes before. We hang up with him on Zoom.
Like he said, if he would have read his phone.
Yeah. And then he just texts me after Matt's final question was, all right, what's next, buddy? Like, yada, yada.
Breaking news.
Breaking news
at
here.
At the Flame Central podcast.
The team just announced me signing. If I would have checked my phone, I would have said it on the video. So you know what? I'm gonna try to FaceTime him one more time.
Just pull him up.
This is breaking news, so this is kind of important. I'm gonna,
He's like,
I can call a lot of times in a row.
I
don't know why it took me so long to get married, but he just canceled.
Yeah.
But listen, he is signing. Drum roll, please. Matt, you can pronounce it.
Going to
Telecom
to the motherland.
The motherland. Telecom Baskets Bonn. In Germany.
Oh, yeah.
Deutsch.
Here, Dougie, you can. This was their announcement graphic. I guess I can just put it over.
I know nothing.
But yes, this is the announcement. Darius McGee is going over to Germany.
The German language is just beautiful. Gespickten. Like, they've got some words, don't they?
How
about it, though? Going overseas.
We're not making fun of that.
Yeah.
Raus. My grandparents came over on the boat from the motherland.
Do you remember their names?
Schwenningen, Germany.
So did mine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Schwenningen, Germany, right? Okay. So he's going to the motherland. That's very, very exciting.
Good for him.
Really happy for him.
Raus means get out of here.
Okay. So you heard that a lot.
Yeah.
Get out of here. So yes, we will probably take a trip over to Germany. We need to take an international Flame Central trip with all the players. Yeah. You know,
Flame Central podcast. Travels the globe.
Abroad.
Abroad.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be an absolute disaster. We barely even survived in Arizona.
We might be able to sell that as like a reality show.
That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
Hey, remember, you can be a part of the show, flamecentral@liberty.edu. You can send in your questions, comments, concerns, anything there. Like we've told you many times, we are going to have these alumni interviews throughout the summer. So if there's anyone that you want to hear from specifically, and if you also want to hear from a guy who can help you, if you're in the market to buy a home.
Who's that?
Yacht Talk, baby.
That was how easy is that?
Yeah.
Hey, we're closing, I've said this before, but we're closing these Liberty deals like pancakes at the IHOP Sunday after church, baby. Okay? That's a lot of pancakes.
That would be, we're flipping like pancakes.
No, we're closing.
Closing.
We're serving them up. We're serving up. We're closing these things up.
Joe, that makes no sense.
That makes perfect sense.
We're closing like prime Eric Gagne when he was roided out of his mind with the Dodgers.
We're closing like prime Eric Gagne when he was out of his mind with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Okay, so up to $5,000 off your closing costs. Go to alcova.com/Liberty, and you can apply right there. We're killing it with this. You know what? You know why we're killing it? Because we're saving people a ton of money.
You know
so
what?
If you're looking to approach
really
or refinance, alcova.com.
You're gonna do it anyway. Why not save $5,000?
A little bit more jingle. Have a little bit more pep in your step.
Speaking of pancakes, you know what I am still really upset? I want that shirt that said waffles, just pancakes with abs.
Yes.
That was like one of my all-time.
Didn't I get that for you, right?
No, you gave it to Matt.
You got a Buc-ee's shirt.
I got you a Buc-ee's
Listen,
shirt. You better wear that shirt this summer, by the way.
A couple of things. We got a mailbag, not a question, but a comment from our buddy Jeff Shadow. He sent us a
The Shadow knows.
Which, a little behind the scenes, we were talking Katie Urbine, the pole vaulter who was All-American.
Yeah.
He said, hey, she's from my hometown, deep in Amish country.
Nice.
And he said,
Pennsylvania?
I believe so.
Yes.
He said last spring she failed to win her high school league championship in pole vault.
Stop it.
And obviously that motivated her, and it shows you how hard she's worked to go from that.
I mean,
to
she
now
didn't get
year
speared by a
later.
javelin, but that is a good comeback
It's not speared by
story.
a javelin, but it's a pretty
still
good
a good
comeback
comeback
story.
story.
To go from that to now 1 year later, you're an All-American
That's
on the biggest stage
unbelievable.
of track.
You have no
That is
idea how unbelievable.
insane.
But I'll tell you this much. You know what that is? That is, and I know this, right? That's good coaching.
Yeah.
Because pole vault is a very technical sport, and if you don't have the right coach, it can get a little dicey. So to deal from that to that, shout out to Lance Bingham and his staff for getting it done.
Track isn't the only program around here that has some exciting things going on with like recruits coming and
There's a lot of buzz.
There is a lot of buzz
on the mountain.
On the mountain, so it should be an exciting couple of
Flames
years
football.
here for
let's
Liberty
keep it rolling.
football.
Flames football, keep it rolling, baby.
Hey, we have some surprise stuff for Father's Day that we'll send out on Sunday. Remember, Father's Day is this upcoming Sunday.
That's right.
Two of the greatest dads.
So if you're looking
around
for a place
here.
to eat downtown, put
It
in
is
reservations now.
It is restaurant week in downtown, or not in downtown Lynchburg, all over Lynchburg. So restaurant week, they have all sorts of like really cool deals. No, I'm not even.
I went to that Fleming Grill place where they have they bring you out the steak and they cut it there in front of you. It was good. But you know what my brother-in-law told me? He said he went to Fleming Grill. I actually shouldn't say that.
Yeah, let's not.
Okay.
Let's keep all
Thanks so much for listening or watching.
No, the cartwheel fell off.
Oh, okay.
Things happen, Joe.
We don't need to give
it was great.
We don't need to give anybody free advertising,
no,
except
great.
Alcova Mortgage.
Alcova Mortgage.
Thanks so much for listening or watching.
That's
We'll catch
it?
you right. Do you have anything else to share with the class, Joe?
I'd probably come up with another story if you need one. No, we're good. Get out of here.
We'll see you next week.
Get out of here, big lug.
Rouse!
Rouse!